The in-camera sharpness is the devil, so you have to dial it down. So the tips in this video will basically be general, so you can apply them on any camera that you have. So here are some tips to make any camera more cinematic. If you want your video to be cinematic, you should shoot in manual mode. So to shoot in manual mode, you really need to have an understanding of how the exposure triangle works with the ISO, aperture, and the shutter speed. So if you don't know how that works, I will be sharing a link down in the description. So the benefits of shooting in manual mode will be that you will be controlling how the image of your device will look like. And this is very good. You don't want your cameras to be second guessing what you want to do. So if you're shooting in manual, you will be in control and the camera will do whatever you want it to do and not do any strange things to the image that you don't want it to do. So another thing that you want to take control of if you want to get a really cinematic look of your camera is to dial in the correct white balance. And most of the time your cameras will have presets for choosing your white balance. So if you're out shooting on a beautiful sunny day, use the sunny white balance. If it's a cloudy day, you should go to the cloudy day white balance. So it's very important that you use the right white balance while you're shooting video to get that real cinematic look. Another thing that you also have to think about, it's not mixing white balances. This is very common and will make it really hard for you to get a really present look. A situation that might happen if you're shooting indoors and you have fluorescent lightings in the ceiling, but you have a big window that is letting in lots of window light. You will have two different white balances coming in from those two areas. And that is a pain to fix in post. So another thing that is really important if you want to make your camera more cinematic is go in and basically take off all the digital sharpness that your camera will provide. Now, don't get me wrong, sharpness is very good, but if it is optical sharpness that's coming from your lens and your sensor, then it's a good thing. However, if the sharpness is digital and coming from processing in the camera, you want to dial it down as much as you can. Another thing that's really important for you to do when shooting with camera is to actually use ND filters if you're shooting outside. And ND filters are filters that you put in front of your lens, and these work like sunglasses for your camera. And these you do need because your sensors are nowadays so large that they take in more light than you actually need. And to get that 180 degrees motion blur, you really need to use ND filters for that. And if you don't know what motion blur is, I will link a video down in the description so you can learn more about that. So if you have something called 10-bit in your camera instead of 8-bit, you should choose to shoot in that instead. And that's because of the color depth that your camera will have. You will have so much more color information in your footage and you won't get any banding artifacts while grading. And the last tip to get any camera cinematic is gonna be to shoot in a flat profile. Now, not all cameras do have like a flat profile, and most of the time they're named something like with a log, C log, D log, S log for a Sony camera. But if you don't have a log profile, you could actually make your own flat profiles. And this you do by going into the profile settings on your cameras and dialing down the sharpness, the contrast, and also a little bit of the saturation, and you will get a flatter profile so you can do more color grading in post and get the image that you want. So guys, I hope you find this video helpful and that you can make your camera be more cinematic. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments, and please do not forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Until the next time, see you soon and bye bye.